this is what I'm going to be showing you how to make this little Among Us character. Now you can color your paper. I did, but it faced the wrong way, so I had to discard it. So you're gonna need a piece of paper, and it has to be a perfect square, a 5 by 5 square. I got my paper from my notebook, this notebook right here. And the next thing you're gonna need is a ruler, this little ruler right here, to measure your paper to make sure it's a perfect square. Next, you are going to be needing some scissors. These scissors come in handy actually a little bit later in the tutorial. Now I'm using a black marker to mark the folds. You don't need this. This is just to help you see more clearly. This is me measuring it, and it is 5 by 5 inches, of course. The Among Us character is going to be pretty big. And I cut the excess. Now you're going to start folding it, hot dog, right in the middle. Now you're going to open it, and this is how you see the clear crease that you're going to be folding on. Next, you want to take the edge and fold it down to the middle on the crease you just made. Now you're going to do that to the other side too. Now you're going to fold it down in the middle, up hamburger style. This is me writing down / marking down the crease so you know exactly where I'm folding. Directly in half. Fold it up hamburger style. Now you're going to unfold it and fold the bottom right to the middle crease where I had just marked in black. Now I'm going to mark that crease that I just made in a second here. Now you, of course, don't need to mark your character. Your character is going to be looking a little weird with all the black marks. Now you're going to take that part and fold a triangle up to the crease you just made, like a second ago. It's going to look like an arrow once you do it. Here's me marking the creases. As you will see, it's in a triangle. That's what it's going to look like. Fold it up. Now you're going to open that fold and fold it into a triangle. This takes a while. It's kind of tricky unless your folds are perfect, which mine weren't, but luckily I had already pre-folded this paper, so it wouldn't take me as long. After that, you're going to open it and fold it into half a pentagon shape. I think that's what that is. Now you want to take the ends and you want to fold it down into a triangle. Here's me marking the creases of where you should be folding it. You don't have to make these creases, they're already there. Just like that. Here's me showing the creases and how it should look. Now you're going to take the end and that new crease and fold the end up to make another small triangle. It's definitely probably not going to be even if you had to measure your paper beforehand like I did, but if you didn't, then it's probably going to be even unless your folds were uneven, which mine were. So it will not be even. It's definitely not even. You probably can't see it correctly, but it's not even. Now you have to do something a little bit trickier, which you have to take the ends, fold it slightly up, tiny little crease, tiny little fold. You want to fold it all the way up to the middle crease. It needs to be a small fold. You don't want a big one because these are going to be the legs. They need to be a small fold. Now I'm going to mark it with my black marker so you can see what I'm talking about when I mean a small fold. I mean a small fold when I say a small fold. Now there's the fold. It's kind of wonky. It's not a crispy fold. It's kind of ugly. But it's the legs, and the legs will look perfectly fine. This is the front, and it's starting to form. As you can tell, that was the legs to the Among Us characters if you play Among Us. Now you're going to take the edges on top and fold them in like cat ears, folded cat ears. Here's me marking the fold. That's exactly where you need to fold. Now this is where your scissors come in handy. You take your scissors, and I'd fold about halfway on the line, the second line in half. Now it's out of frame, but that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm folding it right on the half of the second line. My scissors aren't the best. They were glued shut, so it did take a while. It's not crispy. But that cut that you just made is going to be the backpack. Then you want to take it, and you're going to end up cutting it right around that black line, a little bit under, not too much. You're going to need to open that fold, and you're going to cut it about, I'd say, a line. It needs to be a small cut. You don't want to cut all the way down to the legs. The backpack's not that low. This is where it is. I'm not going to put guidelines because it's just a cut, and I don't want to confuse anybody. Now you need to open it, and boom, there's the backpack. As you can tell, it's a little bit stuck out too much, so I'm going to end up folding it in so it won't be protruding out. It doesn't do that in the game, so we're not going to do it in the origami version. You can either fold it that way or this way, as you can see, that way. But I'm choosing to do the other way because I like the fact that it gets the shadow, so it's not directly connected, but it is. You're going to take the edges, and you're going to fold it in again into a tiny triangle. Tiny triangles are your best friend in this tutorial. I'm pretty sure you can see it. It's a little confusing. The lighting keeps changing, but that's what the backpack's going to look like. Now, basically, you want to glue it. If you want to, you can glue it. I didn't. I should have glued it, but I didn't. It will stick up a little bit if you don't glue it, but you don't need to. You literally don't need it. Now, this is my last time flattening out the character. It helps the creases because who wants the origami to be puffy? You want it to be flat. Perfect creases. Hello. Now for decoration, I'm going to take my black marker that I was marking with, and I'm going to draw the glass. The base would usually stick out, but because I didn't have time to cut out and I didn't want to, I just drawed it in, which is perfectly fine. My character has an egg on it, so I just decided to draw an egg right there. I want the Hello Kitty mod. It's really cute. If you don't know what it is, you should look it up. I'm taking my sister's Posca pen, which is really expensive. It's about dried out. Sorry. I'm going to color in the glass. Luckily, it helped with the effect of the glass, but I basically just used her marker up for nothing. And that's basically it. And glue that part. Glue that part if you don't want it to be puffy and stick out. And there is your Among Us character. Hope you followed along the tutorial. The tutorial is 10 minutes, but it's pretty simple and it should only take you about 3 minutes. Unless you're gonna watch a whole video. If you watch a YouTube video, it will take you about 5 or 10 minutes, but I try to make it as detailed as possible. So this is how you make an Origami Among Us character. Bye. Also, this tutorial was by Gary Easy Origami on YouTube. It's called Origami Among Us Step by Step. So you should check that out if you want the shortened version.